Our correspondent who is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Bongani Siziba, will join us later. But in the meantime, I'm being joined in the studio by Uchenna Emelonye, a renowned human rights scholar and a former United Nations senior human rights advisor. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with this 39th ECOWAS summit, for instance. Exciting time, some will say. And Nigeria has, in this same meeting, has gotten to be put on the board of the African Central Bank, which is yet to be inaugurated. But in your opinion, what do you think? What has this summit been like?
The theme of the summit is on water and sanitation. And I would say that it took the continent this number of years to come to this realization that water and sanitation is a huge issue in the continent, a very huge issue, which if you cascade it down, is also a huge issue in Nigeria. So the essence of water and sanitation is a gendered topic because women bear the greatest brunt of water crisis anywhere in Africa, anywhere in our homes, anywhere in the continent. So the focus of this discussion should also be take us to the point of sanitation. And if you look at sanitation again, it's also gendered because women go through much difficult challenges in the water crisis due to sanitation, due to the way the body is composed. And as African states discuss this, the essence is not to look at it from the point of naming and shaming, but from the point of possibilities, that the water challenges in Africa can be rectified.
But because I was going to say this, Africa is filled with a lot of water bodies, and one would think that if I have a stream at the back of my house, I should definitely have water. I could channel that into, but we find that in many African countries, in many African states, homes are have their taps dry. Is it a question of availability or a question of vision?
It's more a question of governance than the question of availability, which is infrastructure. Water is not just an infrastructure challenge. Water is a right issue. And until government begins to look at water from the point of governance, that this challenge will persist. I mean, you've studied very well. We have abundant water resources beneath the earth. But do we have water everywhere in Africa? Absolutely no. The question that will be asked that will drive it home is how many Nigerians took their bath today with water in the bucket, or took their bath from a shower. The impact is real, and this impact can only be driven from the point of a reform-mindedness on the part of the government. It is not rocket science. It's not too expensive. This is one of the reforms that could immediately happen. I mean, today we are building Abuja and building other cities without the basic water reticulation that was the case 20 years ago.
Let me just you pointed out, and there was a question that was nagging at my heart. In the course of our coverage ahead of council polls coming up on the 21st of February, we went to all the area councils. We had correspondents visit all of the area councils, and it was as if there was basically one thread running through all of the area councils, and it had to do with water, pipe-borne water. Almost everyone we spoke to, they will talk about other issues, but they would all of them end up in not enough water. And you have said it's a question of governance. It's a rights issue, but now you have said it's a question of governance. Is it that the government are not thinking that this is important to even look at?
Then because citizens are substituting the role of the government by digging boreholes.
And that's not good for the earth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the government is trying to wish this responsibility to citizens. But even though citizens are doing it, how many citizens can afford to do it? The percentage is minimal. So even though we have boreholes in all it's almost an infrastructure in every building in Abuja. But there are lots of Nigerians who are not able to sink boreholes in their homes. And these are the people that we are advocating for.
Just before we let you go, yes, the theme is water and sanitation. I mean, but there's also that bit about the future, building a better future for African citizens. Africa more or less has different issues plaguing it. We have the question of leadership and governance, where we have some countries that have had coups taking place. So democratic governance is not in those countries. But the matter of security is a major one that cuts across almost all the regions of the African continent. Would you say that this is something that the AU can begin to look at how to get it sorted once and for all?
Yes, I would agree that security is a key issue in the continent, but water is also a trigger of insecurity in the continent. So it's not just security. There are enablers to insecurity in the continent, and water is key. Is one of them. The resource competition on water is very acute, particularly in conflict-prone regions in Africa and also in Nigeria.
Oh, we want to say thank you so much for coming in today. Professor Uchenna Emelonye, a renowned human rights scholar and former United Nations Senior Human Rights Advisor. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.